Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. It's time to kick off our netball coverage with a look at the Western Eyre Netball Association. Courtney Trowbridge, our correspondent in the association, is on the line with me right now after a thrilling round of games last weekend. How are you, Courtney?
Yes, good, thanks, Dan. How are you?
Going well, thank you. Let's jump straight into this epic grand final rematch. I'm interested to hear more about this one. The Hawks got a win back over the Bombers. Hawks 48, Wirrulla 47. Looked like an absolute thriller.
Yeah, really exciting game. It sees Hawks take second spot at the end of round one. Don't actually know too much about this game. Both coaches have kept things fairly under wraps. Other than it was a close match for the entire game, Wirrulla actually held the lead at every break by one or two. And then Hawks, just in the last half of that last quarter, were able to get a lead and then get the win by one. I think Summer Braz for West Coast Hawks in wing defence, she got a lot of taps and was able to create a lot of pressure. And for Wirrulla, Hayley Webb, able to turn a lot of ball over in goal defence, just struggled to convert down the other end at times. So, see Hawks take a one-goal win.
Well done to the Hawks, a sensational win there as they move to second on the table, and that was the grand final rematch, but the grand final this year might be looking completely different because the Western United Tigers are looking unstoppable at the moment. Another good win for them last weekend, 45-21 over the Ceduna Blues, and we're 5 rounds in now. Everyone's played everyone once, and the Western United Tigers have beaten everyone in their path.
Yeah, Westies are on a roll. They'd be really happy sitting 4 wins and no losses. Yeah, they're just so fit, and I feel like their cohesive game is a little bit better than the rest of the competition at the moment. It took both teams a while to settle into the match, with the first quarter being quite scrappy, really low scoring, Westies taking an 8-3 lead at quarter time. They were then able to increase their defensive pressure, smother Blues through the mid-court. I think Blues had a bit of trouble connecting from their mid-court to their goals purely due to the Westies defence. Westies had some great connections through the court, and they've been able to really work on and keep building on what they've been working on the last couple of years, and it's proving to be really valuable to them. They had 11-goal lead at halftime and then just able to continue building to win by 24 and restricting Blues to just 21. Best for Blues was Jordan Tonkin and Megan Sampson, and Taylor Collins had a good game for them in goalkeeper. And best for Westies was Chloe Ettridge at goal attack, with Harriet and Jacinta also having another solid defensive game.
So as I said, everyone has now played everyone. Good time to have a look at the ladder, not at the midpoint of the season, but at the first round of games done and dusted. Western United Tigers 4-0, undefeated on top. Hawks 3-1, Wirrulla 2-2, Ceduna 1-3. Thevenard, who were on the bye last week, still searching for their first win at 0-4. So a pretty clear hierarchy at the moment by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think this week's matchups in particular will give us a good indication going into the rest of the season who's going to finish those top 2 and who's going to fight it out for 4th spot as well.
All right, well, let's start with the battle for 4th spot tomorrow. Thevenard hosting the Ceduna Blues. They played in round 1. Ceduna won it at Ceduna 38-37, a thriller to open the season, and it's the only win Ceduna have had for the year. So I'm probably expecting another pretty close one here between these two at Thevenard.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting game. I think each time these two teams play each other, pretty much they play each other 3 times, and I think whoever gets 2 of the 3 wins will take that 4th spot, unless one of the teams can snag a win over someone else. I think Sevi's percentage is actually a little bit better than Blue, so if Sevi win this game, we'll see them move into 4th. Blues are lining up with their full team, and they're still going to rotate their mid-court combos, still working out what their strengths are there and using the tacticals a fair bit to keep people fresh. Sevi are without Hayley Jericho, who's played some brilliant defensive games this year, but they will have Nikki Sleep back in their defensive end. So seeing Casey and Holly for Blues match up against Nikki and Hayley Williams-Gates will be exciting. Teams are pretty evenly matched in the mid-court, and it'll be interesting to see how Sevi goalies stand up to the tool combo of Hayley Clayton and Taylor Collins. I'm really hoping Sevi will get their first win. So I think I'm going to tip them in a close one.
The tip is in for the Magpies, and in our other game, Western United Tigers hosting the Hawks. Now, when they met in round one, it was the Tigers 43-20 coming out victorious. But I think it's safe to say the Hawks are in much better form now than they were in those first couple of weeks of the season, and they'd have to be a decent chance to hand the Tigers their first loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first game we probably can't really go on that. Hawks are missing a lot of key players, and Westies are also without their key goaler, Durrani Hofrichter. So I think this is sort of start again and see what happens. I think this will be a real insight into two of the teams that will either be really deep into the finals or in that grand final. Westies have the full team lining up with their regular seven and really starting to become a settled combination. And Hawks nearly with a full team. I think they're maybe still deciding that goalkeeper role. It would be really exciting. Chloe Ettridge in goal attack for Westies up against Alana Cotton for West Coast Hawks in goal defence. Nakia Skinner in centre for Westies up against Kobe Freeman for West Coast Hawks, and then down the other end, Jacinta Binstead for Westies in goal defence, who's been playing some really good netball, will go up against Rochelle Wheaton, who just normally controls the Hawks attack end a bit and really quite accurate. So it'll be interesting to see how Jacinta wears her down through the course of the match. I'm going to go Westies in a tight one. It is at Penong, and they just seem to be that bit fitter and stronger than everyone else at the moment, but I think it will be a close game.
All right, Westies looking to stay undefeated. The Hawks obviously very keen to hand them their first loss for the year, and Wirrulla, of course, on the bye for tomorrow, so they'll be enjoying a nice week off. Before we let you go, Courtney, it's also the Lock Regional Carnival on Sunday, so some people will be doubling up their netball intake this weekend.
Yeah, big weekend of netball for some girls, heading down to Lock for an early morning start on Sunday. It's always a great day. There's always lots of work behind the scenes to make it happen. So big thank you to all our selectors, umpires, coaches, manageresses and anyone else that's made the day possible for our girls to compete in. Thank you to Lindsay Denton and Sarah Evans from our association exec who have been coordinating the day. The A grade this year will be coached by Emma Willis, and they have herself, Alana Cotton, Chloe Ettridge, Shannon Johnson, Durrani Hofrichter, Maddie Nicholson, Hayley Webb, Taylor Collins, Hayley Clayton and Nikki Sleet. So pretty handy A-grade team there. We're also sending down a 17s, 15-1, 15-2, 13-1 and 13-2. So big weekend of netball for our juniors. We wish all our players and coaches the best of luck and hopefully can report on some wins next week.
Huge weekend this weekend for regional netball, all kicking off in the Western Eyre Netball Association tomorrow. Thanks very much, Courtney. Enjoy the action this weekend. We'll catch you next Friday.
Thanks, Dan.